Listen to me, beloved soul. Stop everything for a moment. I am Archangel Michael, and I order you to open this right now. This will happen in your house tonight. Do not think this is a coincidence. Heaven has been trying to reach you for days, but you have been too burdened, too distracted, too weary to hear. So I come, not in anger, but in mercy. I come because the Father has sent me with an urgent message for you. You were not supposed to see this by accident. You were drawn here by divine pull, because something in your spirit has been crying for help, and tonight, heaven answers. Yes, I am trying to alert you. I am begging you for just a few seconds of your heart's attention, because if you close your heart now, you may miss the moment heaven was planning for you since before you were born. My voice is not meant to scare you, but to awaken you. Something is shifting in the invisible realm, and it will touch your home tonight. You have been surrounded by unseen battles, by thoughts, by storms, by confusion. But tonight, heaven is about to interrupt everything that was trying to break you. Listen to me, child of God. You are not alone in this house. Even if your walls are silent, even if your tears have soaked your pillow in the dark, even if no one knows what you carry inside, I know. The Father knows. The angels have seen your long nights. And tonight, heaven has decided, enough is enough. The war around you must end, and the peace of God must enter this home. You have been feeling strange movements in your spirit lately, moments where you sensed something shifting but couldn't explain it. The air felt heavy, your mind restless, your dreams unclear. You brushed it away, thinking it was just stress, but it was heaven stirring your awareness. For too long, darkness has been whispering fear into your thoughts, but tonight that voice will be silenced. You are not losing your mind, you are awakening your spirit. The reason I am sent to you now is because there is a visitation about to happen, not of fear, but of presence. Heaven is coming to your house. God has heard the prayers you didn't even know you prayed. You thought no one saw the pain, the loneliness, the silent endurance. But heaven has been watching every tear like a treasure, collecting them as proof of your faith. I need you to understand something deeply. This is not just another message, not just another video, not another coincidence in your scrolling. This is divine timing. Heaven chose this exact moment to invade your ordinary minutes because destiny can no longer wait. There are things that must break tonight. There are chains that must fall. There are doors that must open. The delay you've been trapped in ends when you choose to believe this word. I am speaking not from distance, but from presence. I am near you right now. You might not see me, but if you quiet your heart, you will feel a warmth, a light, a gentle weight on your shoulders. That is heaven's hand resting on you. Beloved soul, the reason you have felt this pressing heaviness is because your life has been under divine rearrangement. God has been pulling you out of old patterns, shaking loose old attachments, removing what cannot go into your next chapter. You called it chaos, but heaven calls it cleansing. The disruption was not to destroy you, it was to deliver you. Everything that has been shaking around you, relationships, finances, emotions, has been heaven's way of realigning your destiny. You cried, "Why is this happening to me?" And heaven whispered, "Because you are chosen." There are angels in your house right now, preparing the atmosphere for a shift. They are touching the corners of your home, anointing the walls, cleansing the air. Where there was anxiety, there will be peace. Where there was confusion, there will be clarity. The presence of God is about to enter like wind, unseen, yet undeniable. When it comes, your heart will feel lighter. You will feel warmth, maybe tears, maybe silence that feels holy. Do not fear it. That is the moment of divine visitation. Heaven is not coming to harm you but to heal you. Something is about to be revealed to you tonight, something you have been waiting to understand. You must stay alert, not with fear, but with expectation. I am not warning you of disaster, I am preparing you for divine intervention. God is about to shift something inside your home, but it requires your awareness. Open your heart, speak His name, and invite His light into every dark place. Tonight, what was hidden will be exposed, not to shame you, but to free you. What was broken will begin to mend. You are standing on the edge of a new chapter. The night that was meant to destroy you will become the night heaven visits you. Do not doubt what you feel right now. The tingling in your hands, the stillness around you, that is heaven's confirmation. I am here because there was warfare around your spirit, but you didn't see it. The enemy has been trying to isolate you, convince you that no one cares, that your prayers are useless. But God has declared that the attacks against you must stop. The reason I am speaking to you directly is because you are not fighting alone anymore. There are angels surrounding your house tonight, waiting for your agreement, your faith, your yes. Once you speak it, once you say, "I receive this word," heaven will move in ways you have never seen. You have been through too much to doubt now. The storms you faced were not random. Every disappointment was preparing you for divine revelation. Every delay was heaven's protection. Every betrayal was pruning. You lost what you thought you needed, but you are about to receive what you were truly meant for. I know you have been tired, even of hoping, but listen, this is not the end of your story. Tonight marks a spiritual turning point. God is rewriting your atmosphere. There will be peace in your house again. There will be laughter again. There will be freedom again. As you sit there reading or listening, heaven is closer than your breath. The Holy Spirit is moving through your walls. You will feel it, not in a loud sound, but in a quiet power that fills every empty space. That's why I begged you to open this message. Because timing is everything in the kingdom. And the time is now. You cannot wait until tomorrow. Tonight, heaven intervenes. Do you know why you almost scrolled past this? Because darkness tried to keep you from hearing this word. But something deep inside whispered, "Stop." That was your spirit recognizing truth. That was heaven pulling you back to receive what is yours. The moment you stayed, angels celebrated, because your obedience unlocked what was waiting. I order you again, not in command of fear, but in love, open your heart. Open your eyes. Something divine is standing at your door. I must tell you what's coming. The atmosphere around you is about to shift drastically. You will feel peace where there was panic. You will hear clarity where there was confusion. You will sense movement in your home, but it will not be darkness. It will be angels aligning things, cleaning, restoring, repositioning. You will even notice changes in the energy of your room. That's not your imagination. Heaven is rearranging your surroundings so that God's presence can dwell fully there. For years you have been praying for a sign, for confirmation, for a word that proves heaven still remembers you. This is that moment. I am that sign. This message is that confirmation. God has never forgotten you. You are still written on His palm. Even when you were too tired to pray, He was interceding for you through His angels. Tonight is not about punishment. It's about awakening. Something sacred is coming to your doorstep, the peace you've lost, the love you thought was gone, the hope you buried. Heaven is breathing it back to life. And I need you to prepare. Clean the space of your heart. Forgive who hurt you. Let go of what you can't control. Say aloud, I welcome your presence, Lord. That one sentence will shift everything. Because heaven never forces entry, it responds to invitation. You may hear soft sounds tonight, like whispers, or feel sudden warmth, or remember forgotten prayers. Don't be afraid. These are signs of heaven's movement. God is showing you He is real, that He listens, that He is near. You have cried out, Lord, where are you? Tonight, He answers, I am here, in your house. The darkness that's been oppressing you will lose its grip. The heaviness on your chest will lift. The constant anxiety will fade like morning mist. Because light always wins when heaven arrives. And I am telling you, beloved, heaven is here. God is stepping into your story again, not as a stranger, but as your Father. Listen closely now, beloved soul. You may already feel something changing around you. The air feels heavier with peace, and yet your heart beats faster. That is because the spiritual and the natural are touching at this very moment. Heaven is not far from you, it is unfolding inside your house. God has ordered me to tell you exactly what will happen tonight, not to frighten you, but to prepare you. What takes place in the unseen will shift the scene. Tonight is not an ordinary night, it is a night of divine realignment. The Father has declared that this home, this heart, this family must come back under His covering. You have been under spiritual pressure for so long that you almost forgot what peace feels like. There were nights you couldn't sleep, days that felt heavy, and moments when you questioned your own worth. You wondered why doors kept closing, why confusion filled your relationships, why people turned cold without reason. You thought it was bad luck or coincidence, but it was warfare. You were being tested because the call on your life is powerful. Darkness feared what you would become if you fully believed who you are in God. And tonight, heaven has decided the testing season must end. There will be a shift in the atmosphere of your house tonight. It may begin with quietness, a strange calm after the storm. You might feel a wave of warmth through the air or sense invisible presence moving softly through rooms. Do not be afraid. It is not to harm you. Angels are walking through your home even now, removing the residue of fear, cleansing what has been spiritually polluted. Every room that once felt heavy will soon feel like rest. Every shadow that made you uneasy will fade as divine light takes its place. You will sleep in peace again. You will breathe freely again. The nightmares that tormented you will break because they cannot stay where the presence of God dwells. You must understand, beloved, that heaven's visit is not a myth or symbol, it is reality. God is not far away. When you cried in the dark, He heard you. When you said, "I can't do this anymore," the Father turned to His angels and said, "Go. Remind my child that I am still near. That is why I am here. I was sent as a messenger of mercy." The Father has seen the attacks that tried to silence you. He has seen the heaviness pressing your chest. He has seen the guilt you carry for things you could not fix. And He says to you now, "Enough. My child will not live in chains anymore. Tonight, I am commanded to break the spiritual walls around you. There are barriers that have kept blessings from flowing, emotional wounds, generational pain, fear, self-doubt, and guilt. Heaven is touching those areas right now. You might feel tears come suddenly, not because of sadness, but because your soul is releasing what it carried for too long. Let the tears flow. They are cleansing. Every tear that falls tonight is turning into seed for your new beginning. The Spirit of God will move gently at first, a whisper that reminds you of forgotten hope. Then, slowly, your heart will begin to feel lighter. You will notice a quiet strength rising in you. The voices of doubt that used to echo in your head will lose their power. You will sense peace even if nothing outside has changed yet. That peace is not ordinary, it is the sign that heaven has entered your environment. But, beloved, I must also tell you this: when heaven visits, it exposes what was hidden. Light cannot enter without revealing the dark. There may be moments tonight when memories come back, things you buried deep, regrets you never faced, emotions you thought were gone. Do not run from them. That is not punishment, that is healing. Heaven does not bring shame, it brings restoration. The Father is showing you what still needs His touch. Surrender it. Say, Lord, I give you even this. The moment you release it, the chain breaks. There is also something sacred happening in the unseen. As you read these words, angels are standing guard over your home. They are positioning themselves at every entrance, doors, windows, corners. The enemy has been denied access. No darkness can cross the threshold once heaven has claimed the ground. You may even feel your home's energy shift, a peace you can't explain, a silence that feels holy. That is the sound of victory. The Father has chosen this hour to remind you of your calling. You were never ordinary. You were set apart long before the world saw your face. That's why the attacks have been so relentless. The enemy always fights what he fears. He saw the anointing over your life, the light in your heart, the future God wrote for you, and he tried to stop it through distraction, disappointment, and despair. But heaven is saying tonight, no more. Your house is becoming an altar. Your life is becoming proof that light wins every battle. Beloved, there will be signs of this shift even after tonight. You may feel drawn to pray again. You may notice certain people fade out of your life, not because you're losing, but because heaven is removing what no longer fits your purpose. You may hear songs, see numbers, or feel repeated urges to speak blessings out loud. These are not random. These are confirmations that your spiritual frequency has changed. Heaven is training your heart to recognize divine patterns again. You might also notice physical peace, deeper sleep, calmer mornings, fewer emotional swings. That is because the oppression that once rested on your spirit has been lifted. The heaviness that made you feel numb was never who you were, it was what you were carrying. And now, it's gone. The light is replacing it. The Holy Spirit is filling the empty spaces with divine fire, the kind that heals, not burns. Let me tell you a truth that hell never wanted you to discover: you have never been abandoned. Every time you thought God was silent, He was working through stillness. Every unanswered prayer was being written into a better story. Every delay was protection. You wanted speed, heaven wanted timing. And tonight is that timing. The waiting season is ending. The manifestation begins now. I know your faith has been shaken. You said, Lord, I'm trying, but I don't see change. Heaven says, child, you don't see change because you are standing inside it. You are in the middle of transformation that is so deep, you won't recognize the old you when this is over. The pain that used to control you will soon become the testimony that strengthens others. God is turning your house of tears into a place of peace. He is turning your confusion into wisdom. Do you feel that stirring inside? That warmth that wasn't there before? That's not emotion, that's presence. Heaven is proving itself real to you. This is how you will know God has visited. Peace will linger, even after you finish reading. You will find yourself smiling for no reason. You will feel strength return to your chest. That's the mark of divine encounter. Tonight, the Father is sending not only angels of protection but angels of restoration. They are touching what was broken in your family, what was stolen from your years, what was wasted by fear. Everything you thought was gone is being restored in better form. You lost time, but God redeems time. You lost hope, but He plants new faith. You lost people, but He surrounds you with divine love. The reason I am telling you to open this right now is because timing is sacred. If you had ignored this, you would have missed the wave of grace moving through your life this very second. But you stayed. And because you stayed, heaven will stay too. You have invited the presence of God into your home, and nothing will drive it away again. Do not doubt your worth, beloved. You are worth the intervention of heaven. You are worth angels being dispatched. You are worth the Father interrupting your night. That's how valuable your soul is. You were not created to survive barely, you were created to shine brightly. And tonight, the light is rekindling inside you. So breathe deeply now. Feel that peace. The battle is ending. The angels are still working, quietly, efficiently, powerfully. You might not see them, but soon, you will see results. The things that made no sense will begin to fall into order. The answers you couldn't find will start to appear. The doors that stayed shut will unlock. Heaven is aligning your steps, even as you sit in this stillness. Beloved, I must tell you the truth behind this night. What is happening in your house tonight is not random, it was written long before you were born. This moment was chosen before you ever faced pain, before you ever cried in the dark. The Father had set this time apart as the night of awakening, the night of revelation, the night where what was unseen becomes known. Heaven does not send me without purpose. When I was commanded to speak your name before the throne, light surrounded your story. I saw the angels pause, I saw mercy rise, and I heard the Father say, "Go now, for my child has reached the moment of turning." You have been through a long season of silence. You prayed, and it felt like nothing changed. You kept believing, even when faith felt heavy. And heaven watched. Every act of faith you made in quiet pain was counted as worship. You did not know it, but your endurance was building a bridge between you and heaven's intervention. The Father waited until tonight because only now could your heart fully receive what He has prepared. You are stronger than you think. You are holier than you feel. You are more loved than you can understand. The purpose of this night is restoration, not of things, but of alignment. Heaven is realigning your life to the original design written in divine light. The chaos you have walked through was never to destroy you, but to strip away what was not meant to follow you into destiny. Every disappointment was cutting away what was temporary. Every unanswered prayer was saving you from traps. And now, Heaven says, enough of wandering. Return to the path I created. You may ask, why my house? Why now? Because God always begins change in hidden places. Before He changes the world, He changes homes. Before He changes cities, He changes hearts. Your home is becoming a meeting point between heaven and earth. Angels are establishing a gate of glory there. You will notice that the peace in your house will start to affect those who visit you. People will feel calm near you without knowing why. That's because heaven is making your home a sanctuary, a refuge for divine presence. But with this visitation comes responsibility. You cannot go back to the same distractions, the same patterns that once drained your soul. You must protect this presence. Every word you speak, every thought you allow, every decision you make can either host the light or push it away. Choose peace. Choose forgiveness. Choose prayer. These are not rules, they are keys that keep the door open for divine flow. The reason I am speaking with urgency is because you are standing at a threshold. You can feel it, can't you? That strange sense that something big is near? That's not anxiety, that's transition. Heaven is trying to move you from survival to purpose. You've been living in barely enough for too long, barely enough faith, barely enough strength, barely enough hope. But tonight, the Father says, more. You were never meant to live in scarcity of spirit. You were meant to overflow. There is a reason I said this will happen in your house tonight. Because what begins in the atmosphere of your home will spread to the atmosphere of your future. The conversations will change. The relationships that were draining will fall silent. The doors that refuse to open will begin to respond. Even the air will feel different because heaven's light shifts everything it touches. You will wake up tomorrow and feel as though something lifted overnight. That's because it did. The heaviness has been broken. The curse has been cancelled. You have been through storms that could have destroyed you, but they didn't because grace covered you. The enemy tried to break your faith, but every time he thought he won, you kept holding on, even if all you could whisper was, God, help me. That whisper reached the throne louder than any song. The Father calls you survivor, but heaven calls you chosen. There's a difference. Survivors escape. Chosen ones overcome. You are crossing from surviving into overcoming. Beloved, The presence that enters your house tonight is not just for comfort, it's for commissioning. You have an assignment that hell tried to erase. There is something you are meant to speak, create, lead, or heal that will free others. That's why the attacks were personal. That's why the isolation was deep. The enemy knows what you carry. But heaven is reminding you tonight, nothing can stop what God ordains. The calling on your life is waking up. The gifts you buried under fear are stirring again. You will dream again. You will see visions. You will hear guidance in ways that feel new but familiar, like remembering a language you once knew in heaven. There is also a hidden promise unfolding tonight. The things that were lost will begin to return, but not in the same form, they will come back redeemed. Relationships that ended painfully may find peace. Opportunities that slipped through your hands will reappear in better timing. Even the desires you gave up on will revive, because heaven never forgets what it plants. You thought the delay meant denial, but it meant preparation. This is the prophetic turning point. Heaven is releasing divine order into your life. The confusion that clouded your mind will fade. The chaos in your emotions will calm. You will begin to make decisions with unusual clarity. What once felt complicated will become simple. You will no longer chase answers, they will come to you. That's what happens when light replaces darkness. But child, do not take this lightly. The presence that fills your home tonight demands reverence. When you wake tomorrow, speak gratitude before you do anything else. Say, "Thank you, Father, for visiting me." That sentence will seal the blessing. Heaven honors gratitude, it keeps doors open for favor. And hear this, heaven will begin to align people around you. Some will come suddenly with kindness that feels divine. Others will fade, not because they're bad, but because their chapter in your story is finished. Let them go with peace. Don't cling to what heaven has released. You are stepping into a new vibration, a higher spiritual rhythm that only truth can live in. You are not who you were yesterday. You may look the same, but your spirit has shifted. The oil of heaven is upon you now, invisible to eyes but undeniable in effect. You will see it in how people treat you, how doors respond, how peace lingers where you walk. Heaven's mark is upon you. So tonight, as you prepare to rest, know this, angels will not leave your side. One will stand by your bed. Another at your door. Another over your roof. They are not symbols, they are soldiers. They have been assigned to guard what was promised to you. You will wake with renewed mind and lighter soul. You will feel as though something heavy has been removed. That's not imagination, that's deliverance. Do not fear what you don't understand. Heaven's ways are higher, but they are always love. You may not grasp why this moment came suddenly, but one day you'll look back and see perfect timing. Tonight is the start of something holy, something permanent. The chains that broke will not return. The peace that enters will not fade. The presence that visits will not leave. Beloved, the Father has not come only to lift your pain, He has come to replace it with promise. Heaven never leaves a space empty. When the storm ends, light must fill the sky again. Tonight is the beginning of new promises taking root in your life. You will see them slowly at first, like dawn touching the edge of darkness, but then they will grow brighter until everything around you carries the mark of renewal. The first promise is peace. Not the fragile peace that depends on circumstances, but the peace that cannot be shaken by noise or loss. It will live inside you like steady breath. You will wake without the tightness that once gripped your chest. You will walk through rooms that once carried tension and feel calm instead. People will notice before you do. They will say you look lighter, and you will realize that heaven has settled inside you. The second promise is clarity. Your mind has been clouded for months, wandering through questions that had no answers. The Father is touching your thoughts tonight. You will find yourself knowing what to do without struggle. The same choices that confused you will become clear. The same fears that stopped you will feel small. Heaven is placing wisdom in you, not through books or voices, but through a quiet knowing that rises from your spirit. The third promise is restoration. Everything that was taken unjustly will begin to return in ways you did not imagine. Some of it will come as reconciliation, some as new beginnings, and some as unexpected favor. You may receive calls, messages, or sudden opportunities that seem random, but they will be heaven's fingerprints. Do not call it luck. Call it redemption. There is also a promise of healing. You have carried pain in your body that mirrors the pain in your heart. The tension, the weariness, the sickness that seemed to grow with worry, heaven is reversing it. As peace enters, the body responds. The cells remember rest. Your sleep will deepen, your energy will return. You will wake and feel alive again. And there is a promise for your household. The same presence that touches you will begin to touch those connected to you. You will see softening where there was anger, understanding where there was distance. Old arguments will lose their voice. A new harmony will take root. Heaven always blesses through the vessel it fills, and you are that vessel now. The Father also gives a promise of direction. For so long you have asked, "What do you want me to do?" The silence was not rejection, it was preparation. Tonight, He places a gentle compass in your heart. It will draw you toward purpose. You may feel drawn to help, to speak, to create, to forgive, to change something. Follow that pull. That is the Spirit guiding you into alignment. Beloved, these promises are not fragile. They are sealed by the blood of the Lamb, guarded by the angels, and rooted in eternal love. But you must protect them. Guard your peace. Guard your faith. The world will still try to distract you, but now you will know the difference between noise and guidance. When confusion tries to return, remember this night. Speak the truth aloud, heaven visited me. Light lives here now. That sentence will silence darkness every time. The transformation will not stop at your doorstep. Heaven's light in you will ripple outward. People burdened by despair will find comfort in your presence. Strangers will tell you they feel safe when you speak. You will carry peace like fragrance. That is how heaven spreads, one healed soul at a time. Do not fear the days ahead. The same God who entered your night will walk into your tomorrow. He will open paths where you see none. He will send help when you feel alone. He will whisper through the quiet moments, reminding you that you are never forgotten. When you see small signs, a sudden blessing, a prayer answered, a weight lifted, pause and give thanks. Gratitude anchors miracles. The more you thank, the more heaven multiplies. This is the beginning of restoration, not the end of struggle. There may still be storms, but you will no longer face them alone. You will stand inside peace while the winds rage outside. You will learn what it means to live from within heaven's shelter. So tonight, let go of fear. Rest. The angels remain. The Father's hand is upon you. And when morning comes, whisper one sentence, "Thank you for choosing my house." That will be the first word of your new season. Beloved, when the first light of morning touches your room, you will feel something different. The heaviness that sat on your chest will not be there. You will breathe freely, and your spirit will feel lighter, as though invisible weights have been lifted from your shoulders. Do not dismiss it. That peace is proof that heaven kept its word. What began last night is not ending, it is beginning to spread. You are living inside the aftermath of divine visitation. Everything that seemed ordinary will start to carry signs of the extraordinary. In the first few days, the world around you will test what heaven has planted. Old distractions may whisper again, small frustrations may arise, but you will notice something new: they no longer control you. You will sense a calm strength rising inside, a quiet assurance that whispers, "I know who walks with me." That's how you will know transformation has taken root. The same problems may stand before you, but your heart will not respond the same way. You have been changed at the root, and nothing outside can shake what heaven rebuilt inside. You will start to notice divine patterns unfolding. A thought will come to call someone, and their voice will confirm what you were feeling. A sudden idea will lead to a blessing. A door you forgot about will open. These are not coincidences. These are the ripples of heaven's order touching the timeline of your life. The Holy Spirit will now guide your days like a silent rhythm, drawing you toward moments prepared long ago. When you walk through your home, you will sense a holiness that was not there before. You might feel warmth in certain corners or a stillness that invites peace. That is because heaven has marked this place. You may hear music softly in your spirit, not from speakers but from the atmosphere itself. That's how angels move, quietly, constantly, faithfully. They are still here, not because of duty, but because of love. The Father's instruction was clear: guard this house, for my presence dwells here now. In your heart, gratitude will grow naturally. You will find yourself thanking God in the smallest moments, for air, for sunlight, for stillness. This is not habit, it is awakening. Gratitude becomes your new language, and heaven answers fluently. Every "thank you" from your lips sends waves of light into your future. Gratitude multiplies blessings faster than you can count them. You will also find courage where there was once hesitation. Situations that once filled you with fear will now draw out strength. Conversations you avoided will unfold peacefully. Dreams you buried will start whispering again. Heaven has restored not only your peace but your power. The Father never meant for you to live small. You were always meant to carry divine authority, not to control others, but to command light into every place you walk. People will notice. They will ask what changed, and you may not know how to explain it. You can only say, "Heaven visited me." And that sentence alone will carry power. Your peace will speak louder than sermons. Your calm will silence storms around others. This is how heaven uses those it heals, as living testimonies of divine encounter. Over the next days, you may also feel a stirring, a call to clean, to move things, to bring order. Follow that urge. It is not random. Heaven loves order, and your physical actions mirror spiritual truths. As you rearrange what is around you, you are declaring, "This house belongs to light." Every room you clean, every item you release, every corner you bless becomes part of your prayer. Do not be surprised if old emotions try to rise again: fear, anger, regret. They come to test if you will reattach them. When they whisper, "Speak softly but firmly, you no longer belong here. I am free." And they will leave, because darkness cannot stay where truth is spoken. As days turn into weeks, new opportunities will start appearing. Some will come quietly, others will arrive suddenly like wind. Do not rush. Listen. Heaven will give you peace about which door to open. The right one will feel effortless, natural, surrounded by light. The wrong one will feel heavy, confused, forced. Follow peace, it is the compass of heaven. You will begin to dream differently. Some dreams will feel real, as though you are walking in another world. You may see light, water, or faces filled with peace. Do not fear. These are not random dreams, they are encounters, glimpses of heaven's language to your soul. The Spirit will teach you even in sleep. Your relationships will shift gently. Some will deepen, others will dissolve quietly. Do not mourn what ends. Heaven prunes to make room for growth. You are being surrounded by people who match your next level, souls who carry light, not drama, peace, not confusion. The connections being formed now are part of divine architecture. Heaven builds communities, not crowds. You may also notice moments when you feel an overwhelming urge to pray for someone, even a stranger. Do not ignore it. That is the Spirit using your heart as a bridge. When you pray, angels move instantly. Every time you obey that nudge, you participate in miracles you may never see, but heaven sees. You are becoming part of divine flow. And beloved, when doubt tries to whisper, remember this night. Remember the warmth, the peace, the stillness that filled your home. These are not emotions that fade with time, they are anchors that hold you steady. Keep them alive by speaking with God daily. Not through formal words, but through honest conversation. Tell Him everything, your hopes, your fears, your laughter. He is listening always, not from distance but from within you. You are no longer living as one searching for God. You are living as one hosting Him. The difference is sacred. You are the dwelling place now. Your home is His resting place. Every step you take echoes with purpose. Every word you speak carries light.